Here we have the inside of the 2020 Elddis Majestic 175. If we firstly move towards the main control panel, we can turn the 12 volt on just here. Beside this we then have the water pump on and off, lights on and off, and then they can all be individually turned on and off on their own switches. And then the awning light. This one here gives us a condition reading of the leisure battery, and this one here lets us know how much water is in the fresh tank. Beneath it we then have the control panel for the whale heating and hot water. If we start with the water heater just here, as you can see as I press it, symbols illuminate until we eventually end back up at off. So if we start with the first symbol just here, we have a little picture of a snowflake, which is frost protection mode. So if there's water in the boiler but you don't necessarily want to be heating it, you can put it onto this setting here, and if the temperature outside drops below 3-4 degrees, it will come on to avoid frost damage. Next we have a single wavy line. Wavy lines represent mains electricity. I always slightly round up, so I class this as main supply using about 1 kilowatt. Main supply using 2 kilowatts, so just dependent on the amperage of the site you're on. Gas on its own. Dual fuel mode, so gas and mains at 1 kilowatt and gas and mains at 2 kilowatt. Dual fuel mode is especially handy in the winter months if you want to get up to temperature nice and quickly. Whenever you are consuming gas, a little flame will appear just here to let you know. And if there's a problem in any shape or form with the water heater, a red exclamation mark will appear where my finger is here. And to then find out what the problem is, press the button here and then a series of red lights will appear, and then in the manual it will let you know what the problem is. If it is something relatively basic and you think you've rectified it, you will then need to reset the control panel, and the way to reset it is hold the button in here and then press the plus button at the same time, and it will then clear the error down. If we now move to the heating, again series of icons until we eventually end back up at off. So again, wavy lines, main supply, this time about 500 watts, 2 wavy lines 1 kilowatt and 3 wavy lines 2 kilowatts. Again, gas on its own, and then dual fuel. Control the temperature with the plus and the minus, and again when you're consuming gas a little flame will appear, and again if there's a problem a red exclamation mark will appear, and to find out what the problem is just hold the button in here, and to reset again hold and press the plus button. If we now come to the bench seat just here and remove the cushions, and we now lift up, you will see that we have the boiler itself just here and the boiler drain valve just here to drain down for winterization. All we need to do is make sure the water pump is turned off and then flip this across like so. To refill, flat back, fill up the fresh water tank, turn the water pump on, and it will commence filling the boiler back up again. Underneath the bench seat this side we have the intake for the space heater, and the back of the battery box you'll find the main 12 volt fuse just here, and then the consumer unit itself just sits here. So we have the main strip switches just here, so we have the individual MCBs, main RCD and test button just here, and then the 12 volt fuses just here, and again they are all labelled up. Beneath it you will see the switch for the automatic tank heaters. It's currently in the off position. If you put it into the on position and there's water in the tanks and the outside temperature drops below 3 or 4 degrees, the tank heater will come on to protect itself from frost damage. The television aerial is just located in this overhead locker here. We have the digital amplifier on the back wall just here. On and off just on the side here. And then control the boost on the inner dial. To raise the aerial, loosen the collar and then push the mast up and then twist it into the position that you require and then lock it into place. Do not over tighten these collars because you can split them. If you need to do additional tuning, you can turn the tail just here and flip it from the horizontal to the vertical position. Do make sure that it is back down again for travel. In the overhead locker above the microwave is the solar panel regulator. You do not need to do anything with this. It will just let you know what it is actually doing with the light. You'll see it's flashing at the moment, letting you know that the solar panel is currently charging the leisure battery. Whenever the leisure battery is fully charged, it will go to a solid green light. Also in here we have the location of the plug for the microwave. With the microwave, do make sure that all the contents are removed for travel, and then it behaves like most microwaves. You have your quick start just here and stop, power setting, wait, time, defrost, etc. Just all on there. And then beneath it we have the Dometic fridge freezer. On and off just here. And then select your power source just here. So currently it's on main supply with a little picture of the 2-pin plug. If I want to run it on gas, just press the picture of the flame. These fridge freezers will automatically ignite themselves. If it fails to light, it will start to beep at you and you will get a red flashing light just here. If you think it's down to the fact there may be a bit of air in the system, etc., this is also the reset button for it. It does highlight it just here. And then lastly we have 12-volt maintain for when we're driving. So at the moment it is going to beep at us because the engine isn't running. Temperature control just here. And then we have the freezer box above, which can be removed, and the fridge beneath. Above my head here we have the Omnivent fan to use. Wind open at this point here, and then press the middle button to turn the unit on. We then have arrows out for extraction and arrows in for cooling. Variable fan speed just by pressing. Do make sure that the roof vent is down again for travel. We then have the hob, so we have the electric hot plate that runs on main supply on just here, and then everything else is gas, so it's push in, twist and press the igniter. Beneath that we have the grill, and again just push in, twist and press the igniter. And then the oven. Beneath the oven you will find the gas isolation tap for it, and again wherever there's a gas appliance there will always be a gas isolation tap. I always say they can stay in the on position If you smell gas, go to the source and turn the gas bottle off. And then just tucked here we have a plug which is plugged in for the electric hot plate. We then have the basin. And if we now move into the washroom, we have the wardrobe, freestanding table just here, awning winding handle and rafter pole also in here. Thetford toilet just here, open to the cassette, push to flush on top, level indicator just here to let you know when the cassette needs emptying. And then the shower cubicle.